how's this going over? Was this a good move? Because I hear a lot of people in the city today saying that they think this is a tremendous loss for jobs and the economy in New York.
It is a loss. Congresswoman Cortez should not be celebrating this loss. It was going to be an economic engine for the region, and the argument that it was just going to be executive jobs wasn't true. One of the things that Amazon was looking for when they were looking for the spaces for these various headquarters around the country was a talent pool that you could draw from. So she should absolutely not be celebrating this. However, the answer is somewhere in the middle. Amazon would not come to the table to discuss a lot of the concerns that various elected officials had in New York City. And had they been willing to come to the table and discuss this, they perhaps could have salvaged the deal, and they just didn't do that.
Yeah, I heard all day today about, pizza parlors and manicure places and all these businesses, dry cleaners that were hoping to open in that area, condos that had been built to house these new residents and some of the current residents. Marc, is this one of those situations where maybe she got what she didn't want, where it was fun railing against it, but now that it's happened, it may backfire on her?
Well, she'll learn that when the fallout comes out of it. But look, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a wrecking ball inside the Democratic Party, and as a conservative, I'm sitting here with popcorn watching it happen. This was a deal that was negotiated by the Democratic governor of New York, the Democratic mayor of New York, sponsored by Democratic legislators, and she comes in, the newly elected Democratic socialist, and wrecks the deal and creates such a hostile environment to the point that Amazon said, we don't want to work in this environment. We're gone. And they took 25,000 jobs with them. And just to show you how economically illiterate she is, she said, this is on the Yahoo story, she said, the city was paying for those jobs. Frankly, if we were willing to give away $3 billion for this deal, we could just invest that $3 billion in the district ourselves. We could hire more teachers. We could fix our subways. We could put people to work. There's no $3 billion. It's not that there was like a cash subsidy to Amazon. They were tax incentives. So literally, she doesn't understand that there's not $3 billion. Amazon took the $3 billion away with it, along with 25,000 jobs. So the lesson for Amazon is, do your business in red states where we don't act crazy like this. And the lesson for America is, if you like this, you'll love the Green New Deal.
All right, speaking of the Green New Deal, Chuck Schumer very upset that Mitch McConnell wanted to force a vote on this in the Senate. Here's Chuck Schumer, the senator.
They're bringing a resolution forward so they can vote against it. This cheap, cynical ploy evidently represents the sum total of Senate Republicans' leadership on the vital issue of climate change, an issue that cries out for serious engagement by members of both parties. But rather than seriously engage on the issue, our Republican colleagues are taking a page from President Trump's petty playbook, trying to make this a game of political gotcha.
Jennifer, why not vote on it?
Senator Schumer is right. This is a craven political tactic by the majority leader, but we've come to expect that from Mitch McConnell ever since Merrick Garland. But I was told by a Republican assemblyman in New Jersey that he used to ask the speaker why they didn't put up some of the Democratic measures just to shoot them down and show the populace how wrong they were. And the speaker told him that if they did that, that the laws just might pass. And I think that that's what might happen here. It's a very, very bold piece of legislation that absolutely has issues. I think instead of shaming critics of climate change, we should be taking this opportunity to educate everybody so that they understand what's in the deal. But you've got a lot of conservationists who are behind this efforts too. Yes, it's a moonshot. Yes, there are pieces of this legislation that absolutely will not pass and cannot be accomplished in 10 years. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to come together at the table and make this a workable bill.
I got 10 seconds, Marc. Just quick response, please.
Yeah, I worked in the Senate for 7 years, and I never heard a senator complain about his bill being brought up on the Senate floor. They always complain the bills are not being brought up on the Senate floor. Who was the genius who decided to put this in legislative language so that the Republic, what did they think was going to happen? So they just created a legislative language so we can now put every Democrat on record as being for Ocasio-Cortez's $100 trillion Green New Deal boondoggle. Congratulations. Good legislative work.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks.
Coming up next, 1 year ago today, Thomas Hickson's dad ran toward the Parkland shooter, shielding several students from bullets and losing his own life. But his son says that if the shooter had reached out to his dad earlier, everything may have turned out differently.
That's what he was trained to do. It's just the kind of person he is. That's what he instilled in me. So, I mean, yeah, he was just a hero.